Good morning, children. Welcome to your science class. How are you, children? Yesterday, we discussed about what is meant by nutrition, what are the components of food, and what are the different modes of feeding in different animals. In human being, the nutrition is completed by 5 stages. Those are ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and digestion. Do you know, children, ingestion is nothing but it is taking food into our mouth. Digestion, the conversion of complex food substances into simple food substance, it is called digestion. Coming to the absorption, the digested food is absorbed by blood, and the blood supplies the blood to each and every part of the cell, that is absorption. Assimilation, each and every cell in our body receives the digested food and it starts consuming it to release energy and other life activities. So, this is called assimilation. During this process, some unwanted substances are produced and some undigested food remains left over. So, these leftover food particles and undigested food particles, if they remain in the body, it will be dangerous, harmful to the body. That is why the body has to send out this undigested food material in the form of feces. That is called digestion. How many stages are there? 5 stages. What are they? That is ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and digestion. Okay, children. We know ingestion. Ingestion is nothing but just taking food into our mouth. For example, there is a apple. What will you do? Immediately we put into our mouth. Chocolate we put into our mouth. That is that part. That is called ingestion. Now coming to the digestion. So it is a big process. So digestion is completed at the several stages. So digestion is completed in the digestive system. You know system, what is a system? Our human body made up of billions or billions of cells. So what is cell? Cell is the last class we studied. Cell is the structural and functional unit of organism. Clear? So structural and functional unit of organism, that is cell. So more cells combine, they together form into tissue. These tissues together form into an organ. Some organs together form into organ system. So all the organ systems together and form an organism. So this is the digestive system. Many systems are there in our body. Digestive system, respiratory system, skeletal system, reproductive system, transport system, circulatory system. Many systems are there. One of them is digestive system. Digestive system consists of 2 parts. How many parts? 2 parts. What are they? First one, alimentary canal. What is the first one? Alimentary canal. Second one, digestive glands. Yesterday we discussed about these two, alimentary canal and digestive glands. Alimentary canal consists of mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, colon. These are the parts of the alimentary canal. What are they? Once again I am repeating: mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, column. So these are the parts of the digestive system. Coming to the next one, that is digestive glands. What are the digestive glands? Salivary glands, liver, and pancreas. These three are the digestive glands. Now coming to the alimentary canal. You know, alimentary canal, it is a long tube. It is a long tube, opens mouth and ends in the anus. Ends with the anus. It is a long tube opening at both the ends, and its width is or diameter is not uniform. Some places it is very narrow and some places it is wider. Alimentary canal. So the first part of the alimentary canal is mouth. So what is the first part of the alimentary canal? That is mouth. Do you know mouth? So the space, hollow space inside the mouth. What is that one? The hollow space inside the mouth is called buccal cavity or mouth cavity or oral cavity. So the hollow space inside the mouth is called buccal cavity or mouth cavity or oral cavity. So what are the parts there in the mouth, children? So mouth is bound by two jaw bones, upper jaw, lower jaw, jaw bones. Mouth is bound by two jaw bones, upper jaw and lower jaw. And teeth are arranged on both the jaws. Teeth are arranged on the both the jaws. And there is one freely moving organ, muscular organ, that is tongue. So mouth consists of jaw bones, tongue, and what is that one? Teeth. Now coming to the teeth. Here there are two sets of teeth in the human being, in the life of an human being. At first, the first set of teeth grows during infancy and they fall off at the age between 6 to 8 years. The set are termed as milk teeth. So at the first, the teeth are developed. So these are called milk teeth. They are fall off at the age of 5 to 8. These are called milk teeth. The second set that replaces them are the permanent teeth. In the place of fall off teeth, new teeth are developed. These last throughout the life. These are permanent teeth. So permanent teeth may last throughout life or fall off. So milk teeth, definitely they fall off at the age of 5 to 8. Permanent teeth remains throughout the life if you take proper care. These are the teeth. So children, next. So where do you find the teeth? So teeth are arranged on jaw bones. How many jaws are there? Two jaws. So teeth are arranged on jaw bones. So the arrangement of teeth on jawbone is called dentition. You know, dental doctor. Dental means tooth. So the arrangement of teeth on jawbone is called dentition. Children, for example, you observe teeth of your friend or you observe teeth of yours in a mirror, or all the teeth are similar or all the teeth are identical. No, we have different kinds of teeth. Teeth are in different shapes. The teeth are in different shape because of their functions, different various functions. But in some animals like frog and lower grade animals, all the teeth are similar, identical in the shape, the size, and function. The teeth are similar in shape, size and function. So this is called homodont. Homo means similar, identical, equal. So these are called homodont teeth. But in the human being, if you observe, there are different sizes of teeth, different shapes of teeth, and their functions also different. So this is called heterodont teeth. Hetero means different. You observe this picture. Here, the teeth are classified into four kinds. Classified into four kinds. What are they? Those are coming from the bottom: incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. How many kinds of teeth are there in the human being? Four kinds. What are they? Incisors, canines, premolars, molars. Are all the teeth are similar? No, they are not similar. They are different in their shapes, in their sizes, and their function also. But human being consists of four kinds of teeth. Those are incisors, canines, premolars, molars. How many teeth are there in the human being? To find out, there are 32 teeth in the human being. Now coming to the next one. Here you observe the arrangement of teeth. So you observe the arrangement of teeth that are, if you observe half of the jaw, see how many jaws are here? Two jaws, lower jaw and upper jaw. In the lower jaw or upper jaw, you observe half of the teeth. So first you can find two incisors, one and two incisors. Next one, that is one teeth, that is canine. Next again we observe the two teeth. These are equal in size and shape. So these two are called premolars. Next you will find three teeth. These three teeth are similar in shape, size and function. So these three are called molar teeth. So there are two incisors, one canine, two premolars and three molar teeth in one half of the jaw. So this is called dental formula. 2, 1, 2, 3. This is called dental formula. So how many teeth are there in one half of the jaw? So there are 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 3, 8. So in half of the jaw there are 8 teeth. So in a jaw, full jaw, how many teeth will be there? There are 8 plus 8, 16. So a jaw contains 16 teeth. Now then what about the two jaws? 16 plus 16, 32 teeth. So a human being consists or contains 32 teeth. Clear? Okay. Now coming to the next. So what is that one? There are four kinds of teeth. Already we have learnt. Coming to the these incisors. You see, these are, the teeth are very broad. Why? These teeth are useful for cutting the food material. Sorry, here wrongly written. This is not tearing, this is cutting. The incisors are useful for cutting or biting the food material. For example, if you are given apple, what will you do? Immediately chew the apple? Immediately cut the... What will you do? You cut the piece of apple with your four teeth. That means incisors. So incisors are useful for cutting the teeth. Children, here wrongly written. Tearing. Tearing is Not correct. Its function is cutting. What is the function of the incisor? Cutting. So if you are given guava, first we bite or cut. You cut it. Huh? You cut. Cutting and biting are the functions of incisors. Next, how many incisors are there? So in one jaw there are 4 incisors. Now coming to the next one, canine. See how the teeth is pointed. It is called canine. What is the use of the canine? Canine is useful for tearing the food material. Tearing. If you are given a sugar cane, stem of sugar cane, what will you do? Immediately you chew it. No. First you tear the bark of the sugar cane. Stem, it consists one bark. First you tear, remove the bark, tear the bark of the sugar cane. So this is the canine. This is done by canine. So canines are useful for tearing. So this teeth is useful in eating the flesh of the animals. We tear the flesh from the bone. So it is useful for tearing the food material. So first one, incisor. Incisors are useful in cutting the food material. Second one, tearing. Canines are useful in tearing the food material. Next one, premolar and molar teeth. These premolar and molar teeth are useful in chewing, grinding and masticating the food. So if you are given chana, what will you do? You chew it. You make it into a paste. So you chew the food material, chewing and grinding, masticating. So for all these functions are done by the premolar and molar teeth are there. How many incisors are there in human body? There are 8 incisors in the human body. How many canine teeth are there? There are 4 canine teeth in the human body. How many premolar teeth are there? There are 8 premolar teeth are there. And how many molar teeth are there? There are 12 molar teeth are there. So 8 plus 4, 12, 12 plus 8, 20, 20 plus 12, 32. Total 32 molar teeth are there in the human body. Now coming to the structure of the tooth. You observe the children, the structure of the tooth. So where do we find the teeth? We find the teeth on the jawbone. On the jawbone. So the part of the tooth inside the jawbone is called root. Root. Generally in the plants, where do we find the root? Inside the soil. In the same manner, here also the part of the tooth, some part remains in the jawbone and some part is exposed. The part of the tooth inside the jawbone is called root, and the exposed part is called, see, the shiny one, shiny broad part, the exposed part, that is called crown. So how many parts are there? Root and crown. Root remains in the jawbone, crown is exposed. Okay. The tooth is made up of hard substance that is called dentine. The tooth is made up of a hard substance that is called dentine. Dentine is harder than bone. Children, which is the hardest part in our body? Generally, we think bones are the hardest, strong parts. But this dentine is harder than the bone. So, tooth is made up of a substance called dentine. So, for shiny appearance, it is coated with enamel. Enamel is a shiny substance. Enamel is a shiny substance. Why? Teeth are shiny because of this enamel. A shiny substance. Because of this enamel, teeth are shiny. Teeth are shiny. Okay, now you observe there is a canal. This is called root canal. This root canal is filled with blood vessels and nerve fibers. For healthy growth of teeth, these blood vessels and nerve fibers are useful. Okay, the tooth consists of two parts: inside, that is root. Outside exposed part is called crown. The tooth is made up of a hard substance that is called dentin. So the cavity inside the root is called root cavity or root canal. The cavity inside the tooth is called root cavity or root canal. So the root canal is filled with nerve fibers and blood vessels. Okay, children, this is the structure of tooth. Any tooth contains all these parts. Now, children, generally, children, they suffer with toothache. Toothache. Why? The effect of bacteria on the tooth. Because of bacteria, we will get toothache. How the bacteria enters into our body and what is its function, what is its effects on the tooth? Let us see. Normally, bacteria are present in our mouth, but they are not harmful to us. So, bacteria, children, we will learn in other higher classes. Bacteria, there are two kinds of bacteria there. One bacteria is useful and helpful to human being, and one bacteria is harmful to the, one kind of bacteria is harmful to the human. For example, how the milk changes into curd? Because of bacteria. It is useful bacteria. Okay? So, bacteria is not harmful. But, however, if we do not clean our teeth and mouth after eating, many harmful bacteria also begin to live and grow in it. Generally, one kind of bacteria live in our mouth. That is good. It is not harmful. But generally we take food, we take milk, we take coffee, or we will take snacks, we take lunch, we eat snacks, different kinds of food we eat. But after eating, we forget or we neglect washing our mouth, cleaning our mouth. We neglect it. Our parents remind us. They tell, wash your mouth, wash your mouth, wash your mouth, but we neglect it. So then what will happen? So along with the useful bacteria, some harmful bacteria also begin to live and grow in it. So these bacteria break down the sugars present from the leftover food and release acids. That is the reason. So we eat the food, but some food particles, small food particles remains in our mouth, in between the tooth or under the tongue or some other places. So food particles remains there. We neglect them. We do not clean our mouth after immediately after taking the food. So these harmful bacteria reacts with works on the food remains and they release one kind of acids. One kind of acids. So you know acids are very dangerous, corrosive. Acids are useful, but they are corrosive in nature. Then what will happen? The acids gradually damage the teeth. Acids have burning nature. You take acid, a drop of acid and a drop on a paper or cloth, immediately it burns the cloth or paper. In the same manner, it damages the teeth. This is called tooth decay. This is called tooth decay. The harmful bacteria converts the undigested food and it remains food particles and it releases acids. These acids damage the teeth. This is called tooth decay. If it is not treated in time, if you won't take several measures, if you neglect it, it causes severe toothache and in extreme cases results in tooth loss. We have to lose the tooth. See, here some pictures are there because of acids. How the acids damage the dentine, how the acids damage the teeth. Okay, that's why chocolates, sweets, cold drinks and other sugar products are the major culprits of the tooth decay. So, how the tooth decay occurs? Because of chocolates, sweets, cold drinks and other sugar products, sweets, more sweets. So, these are the major culprits. These are the four of the enemy of the tooth. So, all these chocolates, sweets, cold drinks and other sugar products, these are the enemy of the tooth. That's why children, I am not saying not to take the, I am not saying taking the chocolates, but you eat, but eat in the limit. And also after eating them, you should wash your mouth. You should clean your teeth. You should take care not to remain any food particles in your mouth. Otherwise, you will suffer with toothache. Okay, children, do you understand? Good. Now coming to the keep your teeth healthy. What should we have to do to maintain our teeth healthy and shiny? So, healthy teeth are good and also teeth should be shiny. Because of these acids, some of the teeth are turns into brown color, yellow color. If you laugh, everyone laugh at you by observing your yellowish teeth. That's why we have to keep our teeth healthy and shiny. So, one should clean the teeth with a brush or Danton and dental floss. So, these are the devices we use to, these are the tools we use to clean our teeth. What are those? Brush. Everyone now use brush, toothbrush, and or Danton. This is one of the kind of the tool. Or dental floss, a special strong thread-like structure. This thread moves in between the two teeth to take out trapped food particles. This is dental floss. At least twice a day and rinse the mouth after every meal. So, we have to brush 2 times in a day, morning and evening. And after every eating, we should rinse the mouth with water. So, then only the mouth will be good. Next, also one should not put dirty fingers or any unwashed objects in the mouth. So, this is a bad habit, bad mannerism, children. Always we keep our finger into mouth. What will happen? In the corners of the nails, some bacteria, some mud particles remains. These mud particles or bacteria develops in our mouth and they also damage the tooth. That's why it is a bad habit. We never keep our fingers or unwanted objects into the unwashed objects into the mouth. Okay, children? Now, that's about the teeth. So, how many kinds of teeth are there? there are four kinds of teeth. They are incisors, canines, premolars, molar teeth. Incisors, what are incisors? Incisors are, what are incisors? Incisors are useful for cutting the teeth. Canines teeth are useful for tearing the teeth. Molar and premolar teeth are useful for grinding, chewing, masticating the food material. So, in half of the human jaw, there are 8 teeth are there. Those are 2 incisors, 1 canine, 2 premolars and 3 molar teeth are there. So, there are 22, there are 32 teeth in a human being. So, the arrangement of teeth on the jawbone is called dentition. So, there are, if the teeth are similar in the shape, structure and function, those are called homodont teeth. If the teeth are different in their shape, structure and function, these are called heterodont teeth. So, dentition, homodont teeth, heterodont teeth and different kinds of tooth and their functions. And how to protect our teeth, how the teeth is damaged. Okay, children. Now coming to the next, that is mouth. Tongue. What is a tongue? Tongue is nothing but it is a muscular organ. Do you know what are the functions of the tongue? Yes, tongue is useful in speaking. Tongue is useful in speaking. Okay, sound is produced in a voice box, but that sound changes into meaningful sounds. That is, tongue helps in speaking, and also it helps in chewing the food. We think teeth are helpful in cutting, tearing, chewing food. Tongue also helps in chewing the food. And there is another advantage. It identifies the taste with the help of taste buds. It identifies the taste with the help of taste buds. Small buds are there on the tongue. So these are called taste buds. So generally, at the tip of the tongue, the sweet is identified, and sides of the tongue, salt is identified. Next one, so sides of the tongue, sour is identified, and last at the bottom of the tongue, bitter taste is identified. Children, you think hot is a hotness is a hot is a not a taste. It is a spicy sensation. Okay, so sweet, salt, sour and bitter taste are identified by the tongue. Tongue is useful for speaking. Tongue is useful for chewing the food. Tongue is useful for identify the taste. Now let us see the next topic, that is digestion in the mouth. What will happen? What will happen after ingestion? You know, ingestion is keeping food material into the mouth. And what will happen after keeping the food material? Can you tell? Daily you are eating. Can you tell what will happen? So here first the teeth chew the food material. So according to food, the teeth bite the food material, tear the food material, and molars and premolars chew the food material with the help of tongue also. So while chewing, salivary glands secrete saliva. The saliva mixes with the food. What are salivary glands? Already we discussed. Salivary glands are digestive glands. There are 3 types of salivary glands. three types of digestive glands. Those are salivary glands, liver and pancreas. Coming to the salivary glands, there are three pairs of salivary glands. How many pairs? Three pairs of salivary glands. Those are parotid glands, sublingual glands and submaxillary glands. Salivary glands are three pairs. There are three pairs. Three pairs means six glands. Where are they located? Some are under the ear. These are called parotid glands. Some glands are under the tongue. These are called sublingual glands. Some glands are under the maxilla. Maxilla means bone, jawbone. So these are called submaxillary glands. Parotid glands, sublingual glands and submaxillary glands. So what is the use of the saliva? Saliva contains an enzyme called amylase. What is the enzyme? Amylase. This amylase also called as tyalin. P-T-Y-A-L-I-N-A. Tyalin. Amylase or tyalin. This is an enzyme. What is the use of the enzyme? Enzymes helps in digesting the food. Helps in digestion. Enzymes helps in digesting the food. So here this amylase changes the carbohydrates into sugar. So what is the changes occurs in the mouth? The food particles are chewed into a paste and it mixes with the saliva. Saliva contains an enzyme called amylase. This amylase converts the carbohydrates into maltose sugar. So in the first lesson photosynthesis we learnt sugars, glucose is the simple substance, glucose converts into a complex food substance that is starch, carbohydrate. Here reverse, carbohydrates are converted into maltose sugar. What is the digestion? The conversion of the complex food substances into simple food substances. This is called digestion. Here carbohydrates converts into maltose sugar. This is the sugars are different. Glucose, maltose, fructose, galactose. These are the different kinds of the sugars. Here carbohydrates converts into maltose sugar. That means digestion begins in the mouth. Digestion begins in the mouth. This shows that digestion begins in the mouth. So here the chewed food, it is very, very soft. The chewed food in the mouth is called bolus. The chewed food in the mouth is called bolus. So the bolus is sent into next part, that is pharynx and esophagus. It is swallowed. The chewed food, the bolus is swallowed with the chewed food is swallowed into a long tube-like structure, that is esophagus or food pipe. How the food is swallowed? With the help of muscles and tongue. Tongue helps in chewing and swallowing the food. This is children. Okay. It is an activity. Small activity. How can we say the food is carbohydrates converts into maltose sugar. So here, what is the action of saliva on food? That is our aim. So to show that this activity, we need saliva and some food. So to test tubes we need water, iodine solution, boiled rice, dropper. All are available in our house. Procedure: take 2 test tubes, label them A and B. That means test tube A and test tube B. Label them with the help of marker. Keep 1 teaspoon of boiled rice in the test tube A. What are we doing? Here, a teaspoonful of rice, boiled rice, put in the test tube A. Keep a teaspoonful of boiled rice after chewing 3 to 5 times and add 3 to 4 ml of water to both the test tubes. In the test tube A, only you take boiled rice, no need to chew. In the test tube B, you take same amount of rice and chew it well in your mouth and put it in the test tube B. Okay. Now add 3 to 4 drops of water in both the test tube. We add little amount of water in both the test tubes and stir it. Now pour 2 to 3 drops of iodine in both the test tubes. Both the test tubes you pour it. So what is our observation? In test tube A, the rice changed into blue-black color. In test tube B, the rice remains without any change. Why? Do you have an idea? So iodine test is the best test for starch and carbohydrate. So to identify starch or carbohydrates, iodine test is the best test. That's why we take the pure boiled rice into test tube A. So it contains starch, it contains carbohydrates. So after adding iodine, it converts into blue-black color. In the test tube B, we took chewed food, chewed rice. Chewed rice means here carbohydrates converts into sugars. So here iodine, on the iodine test there is no change. So this shows that digestion begins in the mouth. That means the carbohydrates in the mouth are converted into sugar. That means digestion begins in the mouth. Okay children, thank you very much for listening. Have a nice day. If you understand, okay, otherwise watch this video 2 or 3 times. After that, you read the textbook. Once again I am repeating, textbook in reading is very, very important. So one time textbook reading is not useful. You will not get anything. So if you read 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, so you will get 100% content from the textbook. So you read the textbook number of times. Don't neglect reading the textbook. Okay children, all the best.